Hello and welcome to this tutorial with me, Lindsay of Wild Sea Calligraphy, alongside Manuscript Pen Company. Today we are doing something dedicated to David Attenborough for his 100th birthday, and I found a lovely quote that you can write out on a postcard or on a gift card or anything you want really, and then you can just have it in your studio or home office or pinned to your fridge or your notice board. This is an A6 piece of card and it just works really well. These are the pens that you can use for this workshop. So they are the Callicreative Italic pens, and they come in, this is a very small selection of all the colours that you can get, and they are mainly fine. So they work beautifully for, writing things like this. I'm going to write directly onto this postcard, but please feel free, if you wanted to begin with, just to practice on the calligraphy parchment paper. I find this is, fantastic for practice for italic calligraphy. It just works really well with the pens. I did mock this up beforehand to make sure that I could get the text placement correct. You can see here the measurements that I've made. So we're going 25mm from the top and 25mm from the left. Okay, and there are going to be 4 lines of text. Future is going to be at the bottom, and it's entirely up to you what colours you use and how you do this. By using my mock-up, I can then nicely roll up some guidelines which work really well. So again, 25mm from the top, 25mm from the left, and then we are going lines of 5mm, 8mm, 5mm, 8, 5, 8, 5, 8, 5, 8, and then we're leaving a gap along the bottom. We're going to start our first line right here, the next line here, the next line here, and the future will be written here. You can create these guidelines and then use them for anything that you want. So you can keep these as guidelines. So if you're going to go and write them again, you can put a card here, and all you would need to do is just draw a line here, 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 and here, and you've got guidelines again. So I'll zoom in so you can see that a bit better. So if I wanted to use these for guidelines all the time, all you need to do is just draw the lines in here, and then you've got guidelines that you can use forever. This is going to be slightly more intermediate. You can, as I've shown in previous tutorials, mock it all out first with your pencil, which works really well. But I'm going to go straight into using italic calligraphy. I suggest if you're a beginner at this, have a look at italic handwriting. I think that is a great introduction, and it takes a little bit of the pressure off of creating the forms. I'm going to use the blue Italic Callicreative pen. You can see here it's a fine point, and we're going to hold it, paper, at this angle. So 5 to 10 degrees at this angle. And you can see here when I zoom in how this looks. So let's get started. We're going to start with the. So I'm going slightly above. So we've got our baseline here, waistline. This is the ascender space. So I'm going slightly above. I'm not worrying too much about how the forms are created. I just want to have fun and create something nice. Sometimes I get a little wiggle and then pull down. And we go up. And the beauty of these pens, you can go up in one loop. As I'm going around the corner, sometimes just try to get the edge, the nib here, just to create that hairline, like that. And then light up, so went thick and then light. And E, I'm going to do this around and out. The little eyes there. So you see the angle again. You can also do your O's like this. Carving it out slightly here, and then bringing this down. Crossbar here. And you can see, you know, you could create this as a continuous flowing movement if you wanted to. I'll show you how here. Be conscious you've got a gap, you know, this is how much room you've got for 2 and A. I like a long crossbar there. And then we're going to go brighter here. Don't forget T starts lower than most of the other ascenders. And then we're going to future here. Have some fun with this one. There. We'll zoom out. You can see how this looks. Now we're just going to pop the name in. I'm going to use the beautiful Tom Hesson flexible nib fountain pen, which is perfect. We can do a little bit of Spencerian here. I will zoom in again for you. There, so you have a lovely little quote. That looks fantastic, pinned up or given as a gift. When this is dry, so leave it a few hours, you can then take an eraser and remove all of the guidelines. And it will look like this. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you would like to, please comment, like and subscribe. This is a fantastic channel with some phenomenal resources from the, you know, some of the most amazing calligraphers I've ever had the pleasure to meet, and also to see their work online. Give me a follow. I am Lindsay Gribble at Wild Sea Calligraphy. Speak to you soon.